Well, well, well. Hello. Happy Thursday to everybody and welcome. I am on my laptop today. I left my little thingy that I usually put my phone on in Marla's car when we went to go get her haircut. So there it is. I am excited because we are ready to go with the sprint. And I'm going to tell you about that in just a minute. I just got a little notification on my Slack from my team, and guess what? We're about live. So if you are interested in the sprint, we'll talk about that in a minute. So today I want to talk about just Wise Women's Wednesdays are not easy to do when you're in a moving car going down gravel driveway. And that's how we were. I went with Marla yesterday to go get her haircut, and I should take a picture when she's all styled and everything, because her hair looks absolutely gorgeous, on point. And I'm sort of jealous. She doesn't have to dye it or do anything. It's just there. It's just beautiful. So yay, Marla, gorgeous hair, and she got a nice little haircut, and we had a fun time talking about all the things that we talk about, it was a fun time. It's fun to get out of the house and to hang out with your girlfriend and, do your thing. So anyway, here comes the people. Bring your people in. Don't forget, sharing is caring, like Crystal just did. She shared. Thank you, Crystal, for sharing. And Tracy, my new student from NutriCoachSchool.com. And if you want to find out about that and you're ready for a new chapter in your life, that's what Tracy's doing, and I'm super proud of her. She's like blitzing through the stuff. She's having a good time doing it, and she's got some really exciting things coming up. So that's with Tracy, and I see Fawn. And you know what? You guys are sending in some really good questions. Thank you so much. We do Q&A on Fridays, and it's always a long show. And there's a ton of questions. Anything that we cannot cover on Friday, because I'm not going to stay on here for 3 hours, and you guys don't want to be seeing that much of me. We will boot over to the next week. So keep your questions coming. And I will also say that I've had quite a few questions asking about sugar addiction, and I cover that really well in last Friday's Facebook Live. So just look that up. It's right here. And just go back into the videos and look it up and watch that, because it will really address this. I was a sugar addict too. I understand what it feels like. And anyway, I'm freezing. Can you tell? I've got my hoodie on. Look, Kale, there we go, because I go to Kale University. And it's been nice and cool here. So I've been, who knew, in the end of August in North Carolina, I'd be freezing, but here I am, whatever. Marla's saying she doesn't know the words to what? Oh, and we sang in the car, by the way. I don't have a record of that, but every time Marla picks me up in her car, she's got Sirius FM or whatever, and so she puts the 70s on, and we sing to absolutely every song, whether we know the lyrics or not. So give me some love. If you have a girlfriend that you get into the car and you sing on the top of your lungs without knowing the words, and you just do it anyway, and it's fun, let me know about it. I bet you do it too. Oh yeah, that's what Kimmy was asking. She's asking is she wants to hear us sing Dream On. Yeah, we went, blah 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 to come true. That's how we were singing. It was pretty funny. I wish I had a video of those. Really, it was a riot. So anyway, so today I want to just talk a little bit of things. I've got all the things stirring around in my head, and I also want to say a big shout out to Brenda, who won this book. It's in the mail, on your way, and super excited. And if Roberta's here, Roberta, your NutriCoach certification is on its way. Roberta's going to have an amazing business in the Sparks, Nevada area. So watch for her, because I'm going to be letting everybody know as my people graduate from NutriCoach. I'm letting you know what they're doing and the cooking lessons that they're teaching and all the other stuff, because this is exciting stuff. This is how we change the things that we're doing and make things better. That's what we're after, right? We're not after perfectionism, because that won't happen this side of heaven. We are after being excellent, though. When we know better, we can do better. It's one of my favorite Maya Angelou quotes, because when we do know better, then it is up to us. It's on us to do better. And, you know, it's sort of like I've got these little weights, right? These little 3-pound weights. If they just sit here on my desk, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do my arm exercises for me. This is merely a tool. Everything that we teach, everything that we do is merely a tool. It's up to you to pick the tool up and to use it. It's up to you to use your feather duster. It's up to you to implement your routines. It's up to you to eat healthy, to buy the food, to bring it in and not let it sit there and rot in your, you know, in your cupboard or in your refrigerator. We have the opportunity. We don't have to be frozen in fear. We just have to take that first step. That's it. I remember, I am old enough to remember, I was in the 5th grade, I believe, when Neil Armstrong took his first step on the moon. And I'll never forget that as long as I live. We were glued to the TV, all of us. It was in the summer, I believe, of 69, 68 or 69, I'm not sure. But I remember that. And I remember it as if it were just happening. And he said, that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Well, I can say that to you too. This, when we take action, that is a giant step for your whole life. You know, it might be a little step here, but it is a step for your whole life. Doing that one thing just makes such a difference. And if you watched Marla's show today, it was so fantastic. She had a lot of Q&As. And, you know, one of the things I love about her is that she tells it like it is. It's, yep, you can do this, and nope, you can't. And I learned, you know, we learn from each other. We were talking about that last night, how we learn from each other. And, you know, that's my whole thing too. And it just makes it easier, doesn't it? I don't want somebody to mamsy me around. I want somebody to tell me like it is and be direct. That doesn't mean you have to be unloving. That doesn't mean you have to be unkind. That just means here's the system, this is what it is, and this is how it works. So with that said, we have a sprint coming up, and this sprint is live now. You can get the guide, you can get signed up for it. All you have to do is go to savemeDinner.com/sprint. And if you are already signed up for the emails, you're going to get that email saying, here it is. If you're not, you need to be signed up for the emails. It's not going to do you any good. And I believe there should be a box there so that we can have your email so we can get it. So that's how that whole thing works. It's a daily thing. There's going to be a daily thing going on with the sprint. It starts on September 9th. So you have plenty of time to get ready for that. Let me explain what the sprint is about, because it's an important thing. And two, just before I go into the whole sprint thing, I just want to say this because this is so critically important. And, you know, again, Marla and I, we talk about everything. But this was one of the things that we were talking about. There is a secret sauce to everybody's weight loss formula. There is. And one size does not fit all. Okay. Marla gave me some shoes that were just great, and I loved them. And her foot is a half size bigger. I tried wearing them. I found myself tripping over them, not because they were huge clown shoes. Her feet are only a half size bigger than me, but a half size bigger is substantial in the shoe department, you know? And I was uncomfortable with them, and they started rubbing my feet. You know what? Those shoes are going to go bless somebody else. As much as I wish those shoes had fit, they simply don't. So I'm going to take those shoes and give them to somebody who they will fit and somebody who will be blessed with them. The same thing works with dieting. And this is what our tendency is to do. Tell me if you've been here. I want you to send me I don't know, whatever emoji you want to come up with, but you know, the okay or the thumbs up emoji if this describes you. You hear about this diet. You see people getting all these results. It's all over. You see it on Good Morning America. You see it on the talk shows. You see it on the bestseller list, and suddenly it's showing up in your feed all over the place. That must be it. That must be the golden ticket to weight loss paradise, you think, right? So you get it. You try it. It doesn't work, or you can't stand it. There's this, that, and the other thing that's just not right about it. And then you beat yourself up. Well, I can never lose weight. My metabolism is shot. It's too late for me. Is this you? Have you done this before? And I'm asking this because I want to take you out of that diet cage. You know, my programs, while I have this, I've got the hot melt diet over here. I've got the, take back your body program. I've got all these different programs. The reason I have them is they're training wheels, just like putting your routines together. They're not, this is it, this is what it's going to be. The only time that I'll ever say anything really definitive and just like pull your chain and say, no, don't do that, is if you are insisting on eating processed foods. If you're insisting on throwing things into your coffee that I like, coffee mate and crap like that, that's just going to take away your health. If you're insisting on eating sugar, I am going to say, no, we're going to pull that out. We have to pull that out. That is across the board good for no one. No one. Okay, we know that, right? But your secret sauce for your particular needs and what you need to have is extraordinarily dependent on your own body chemistry. Where are you? How old are you? What chronic conditions are you dealing with or not dealing with? Where are you hormonally? How old are you? Are you a woman? Are you a man? How long have you been dealing with your body clutter? All of these things play into it. And so we go gentle and we go with some parameters and an outline, if you will, of what this should look like. It's sort of like building your routine. I don't have to pack a diaper bag in the morning and have a launch pad in the morning. My launch pad is coming upstairs to my office. So I don't have to write into Marla and say, oh, Marla, your routine thing doesn't work for me because I don't have to pack a diaper bag. And she'd look at me and she'd go, well, duh, you're a 61-year-old woman. Your kids are grown. Of course you don't have to pack a diaper bag. That's the same thing it is with getting rid of our body clutter. The things that work are the routines to set us up for our day, right? And everybody's routine is going to look different because we all have different lives. We have different things that we're getting ready for. We have different stages, ages in life. Same thing goes with how it is you eat. So I say that about the hot melt diet or the hot melt sprint, because this is what it is. The hot melt sprint is designed to take you into a place where you are getting rid of any inflammatory foods. It is super non-inflammatory and it's stringent for 7 days, because you can do it for 7 days. It's stringent. You'll have no dairy. Okay? Can you live without cheese for 7 days? Anybody here can live without cheese? Raise your hand. Let me know if you can live without cheese for just 7 days. Or are you going to be crushed and the whole thing, game off, you can't do it? I just want to see, I want to see what we're made out of. Let me know if you can handle it without. No, I'm not 63, I'm 61. I'm 61. Marla's 63. She'll always be 2 years older than me, but her skin is completely gorgeous. You need to see it up close. Beautiful. So the point is, getting rid of some cheese for 6 days is not a big deal. For 7 days, it's not a big deal. You can do it. Getting rid of the sugar is a big deal, and you should be getting rid of that for 7 days. Marla had a thing I remember years ago, and we, how it is. We have this tendency to keep dipping our toes into the places where we think, well, we just this once it won't hurt. Well, just this once is what put that body clutter on your body, because just this once can be a slippery slope and throw you down a hole into a rabbit hole where you're starting to have to deal with sugar again. And I can't tell you how many times I've done that. So we need to know yourself. You need to know yourself. This is why I say you need to become your own nutritional guru. You can't listen to all those people out there who are going to tell you, you need to do this, you need to do that. You can never do this, you can never do that. Really? I would say to you, if eating 1 ounces of chocolate, not on the sprint now, okay, would take the sprint out of it. But if eating 1 ounce of dark chocolate that's organic, this, that, and the other thing per day is going to keep you from going and, sticking your head in a Snickers bag, then do it. It's a superfood. You can handle it. But if eating 1 ounce of dark organic chocolate, blah, 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 is going to put you into a bag of Snickers, then don't do it. We're all different, and we need to honor that about ourselves. I can't tell you that. And I get so peeved when I see these experts saying, well, everything in moderation, you should be able to have just a little bit. and not understanding that that is a trigger food for somebody and it's going to throw them down the slide. And then they're going to find themselves beating themselves up and saying, well, I just can't do it because so-and-so, this guru over here, is telling me I should be able to do that. And I'm saying to you, honor yourself. You have your own set of knowing. You have the wisdom to know the difference. You do. And I'm giving you that, okay? Listen to yourself. Listen to your body. I promise you, your body will tell you exactly what it is that you can't do and what it is that you can do. And when you listen and you get quiet with yourself and you listen to that small, still voice, then you're going to know how to proceed. That's how you get rid of body clutter. That's how you get rid of body clutter. You wrap your mind around what is healthy, what is good, what is right for you, and get rid of the rest. You get rid of the naysayers. You get rid of the gurus, for heaven's sakes. And I am not your guru. I will help you. I will guide you. I will mentor you. I will give you the best information that I know, but I'm not your guru. I cannot tell you what the best thing in the whole world is for you. I cannot make that decision for you. Okay? So there you go. Danielle is saying having candy in our house is terrible for me. I eat and eat and eat, and then my body feels gross after. Get rid of it. Simple. And if there's somebody else in your house who wants it, this is what you need to do. And Catherine, I'll talk about your coffee and not having it black in just a minute. Okay? Here's what you need to do. If you've got somebody in your house who says, hey, I'm going to have those Oreos, I'm going to have those Snickers, I'm going to have those, you say, fine, enjoy them. Get a lockbox, give them the key, and just say, I need to be locked out of this. You know, let's get real. Let's get honest. Let's tell the truth about what works and what doesn't. We know. It's not that we don't know. It's not that we're victims. It's not that we have to lay down and do whatever. It's that we need to take control of the situation as far as we can. That doesn't mean that we go around like a shrew and tell everybody in our household what they can and cannot do. You know, unless you have younger kids, and then I think you need to steer them away from the Snickers, slide. You need to steer them away from that. And you need to be, living your life as a great example and showing them how to do it and how to be healthy. When you are healthy and eating healthy, they will be too. You can't set a bad example and tell them, do one thing and say another. If I went over to Marla's house right now and told you she's a hoarder and her place is just disgusting and there's, the trash is overflowing and there's maggots everywhere, you'd be shocked. Well, it's not that way. She could never teach what she's teaching unless her house was in order. You go over to her house and it's welcoming. You want to be a part. You want to be there. And it's in order. She might have a little hot spot over here or whatever, but it's in order. You have to live what you teach. And that goes for us as teachers in the world, and it goes for us as teachers to our children. Without that, we are just, we're liars, pants on fire. Helen says she's a shrew mom. Don't be a shrew mom. You don't need to. Helen, this is how I learned this the hard way. I'm just going to share a story with you, and then I'm going to come back to the black coffee talk, because we will have that talk. I know we will, because people have a tendency to think that there's nothing that they can do, but I will tell you that that's not true. To not be a shrew mom, you make a decision not to be a shrew mom. That's number one. And number two is that doesn't mean that you lay down and let your children run the show, because that doesn't work. They don't know what to do, and it makes them feel out of control, without security, without boundaries. That's not fair to them. Okay? It might seem like that would be the easier way to go, or that would be a better way to go, but it's not. It makes them feel terrible. That's why they need bedtimes. That's why they need rules. Then they know with what their parameters are. We all work better that way. The second thing is you need to apologize to your children. I did, and I had to, with tears just racing down my face, and it kind of even makes me a little teary now, but I had to sit down with my kids and say, I apologize for raising my voice to you. I apologize because They're tender and they have little hearts, little souls that need their mom. They need to know that they're okay in someone's eyes, right? And the first person that they've given their heart to is you. So being a shrew mom is abandoning your rightful position as the person who loves them the most. You know, I understand the frustration. I understand how it is they make a lot of messes. Teach them to clean up after themselves. Take the time to train and to teach. When you take the time to train yourself and then turn around and teach them, it sticks. It sticks. Not only does it stick, but everybody's happier. And this is how you create joy in your home. You know, you make your place a joyful place. Does that make sense? You don't have to be a shrew. And that goes for even, you know, you wanting them to eat better. You just sit down and just say, hey, mom wants you to, this is why I want you to do this. Give them the reasons why. Tell them what it's going to do for them and show them by example. And don't give up after the first pass. Sometimes it takes 9, they say, the research has shown 9 to 11 times before a child will, you know, take to eating whatever it is. I will tell you that was true with salmon with my kids. I wanted them to eat the salmon. They wouldn't eat the salmon. But finally I got them to the place where they would. And same with my son with the salad. I told the salad story. You know, after I had him cooking it and, you know, preparing his own salad, suddenly he was a salad eater. Funny how that happens. But we just need to bring them into a place of a place where they feel comforted and secure and loved and accepted. And we do that by not being shrew moms. We can get rid of that. That's a habit. It's a bad habit. So let's lose it. Okay? Sorry. Made me a little teary. Okay, so let's see. Yes, there are smoothies. There are smoothies involved in this, or you don't have to do smoothies. You can break your fast with a special break fast that I have for you. I prefer the smoothie. The smoothie is 100% controlled. I've done my experiments with the smoothie, and the way that I create my smoothies gets you to the place that you need to go. You can also pare it down. You don't have to do the triple green smoothie if you don't want to. And I've got all kinds of ways to make it happen, because I know some people gag at the idea of a green smoothie. It's just green, you know, and the flavor's there. It's just green. It doesn't taste like spinach, okay? Anyway, but that's what we need to do. All right, coffee. Let's talk coffee. Who wants coffee? All right, Marla, I'm going to use her as an example. I'm sorry, because it's the funniest thing. Robert says the funniest on point things. He used to say to her when she was making her coffee that it was pudding, not coffee, because she'd have the sugar in it and the cream and all that other kind of stuff. And I honestly, my mother made pudding out of hers. Hers was really disgusting. She used the Coffee Mate hazelnut creamer and 2 sugars. Yeah, 2 sugars. So it was sweet. It was full on pudding. There was not a thing I could do. You know, my mother was 80-something years old at the time when I was begging her, and she says, Leanne, please, just this one thing. So at 80-something years old, and my mother had been drinking it like this for how many years? You know, you need to fight your battles. I got her off gluten. I got her off dairy. So it's just like, have it, Mom. For you, unless you're an 80-something-year-old mother who's been drinking your coffee that way, I'm not going to be nearly as sweet and kind. I'm going to give you the goods. You take it down a notch. You will thank me later. I promise you. Marla did it. She titrated down. She got rid of the sugar first a little bit and then a little bit of the cream. She can tell you how she did it. I remember that when we had the discussion, though, because it was getting rid of that. Okay? So we have the ability to do it. And what happens? I did it myself. And I want to tell you what happens. Suddenly, that black coffee tastes really good. But 2 things. Titrate, that means bring it down just a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. Okay? That's 1. 2, then just start drinking it black and accept that you will like it. You will like it. That's really interesting how that works, because your mind has as much to do with it, and your mindset and how you plan on accepting this new change has a lot to do with it. And for me, it was just a matter of, this is what I need to do, so I need to learn to like this. That's exactly what I said to myself, and I did. And I didn't go, some people just go cold turkey, but not me. I brought it down. It gave myself a week, and I am so thankful to get rid of that habit. It helped clear it. That's what cleared up my rosacea, because I insisted, had to have half and half in my coffee every day. Insisted, was unwilling to listen to anything else. And then when my face looked like I had North America on this cheek and South America on that cheek with red crusty stuff, that's when I finally said, okay, enough is enough. Okay? So you don't have to follow me exactly on this, but the plan is to get you off of that, because it is inflammatory. Dairy's inflammatory, sugar's inflammatory. Those fake artificial fake creamer things are horrible, and it's inflammatory. And what we're trying to do with the hot melt sprint is to get you off completely off of any inflammatory stuff at all. No sugar, no dairy, no gluten. And what we're doing is supplanting all of that stuff that used to be there in your diet and putting in nutrient-dense foods. There's soups. There's a hot melt soup involved, and I'll tell you exactly how to make it. And that's why you want to get the plan now. The plan now is going to give you that information. You read through it and go through it. You can make your soup. You can even get your soup made and throw it in the freezer if you want. You get your soup made. You get all of your you get your veggie, your salad mix. It's a hot melt salad mix. You get that made. And you do the best with what you can. Like, for example, in the hot melt mix for the salad, I want you to use broccoli sprouts if you can. Now, if you can sprout them yourself, it takes a few days. Go ahead and do that. It's easy to find, those things on Amazon, and it's cheap, and I do it all the time. And you get like 20 times the amount of broccoli that you would, sulforaphane, which is the compound in broccoli that fights cancer and brings inflammation to a screeching halt. That's why it's in there. If you can't find it, no big deal. If you can't make them, no big deal. Then chop up some broccoli and use that instead. But what we're trying to do is bring you to the place of being super anti-inflammatory, cool that inflammation down that's in your body, and let your body start doing what it needs to do. Because your body's desire is to bring you to the ideal weight for you. That's your body's desire. It is, because your body doesn't want to live with the inflammation and the extra weight. It doesn't. Your body doesn't want to live in a place of being ill and sick. It wants to correct it. And we know that because that's what bodies do. When we give it the right fuel, it does that. Now, that I'm not promising miracles. I'm not promising any kind of thing, anything like that. But I'm just saying, if we can put ourselves into that place of starting and giving our bodies the things that they need instead of the things that they don't need, big things can happen. And it could happen to you too. But again, we're not going to compare ourselves. We're just going to start on this. So the hot melt sprint is all about getting the inflammation down. It's about adding good, healthy fat in, because that is what triggers the hormones in your body to work better. And hormones are nothing more than the messengers that tell your body what to do. We've got hunger hormones. We've got the endocrine system. We've got the sex hormones. We've got all these hormones that are working. We might have 150 hormones in our body. So if we can help with a little extra fat, it's good, healthy fat, of course, then that's going to make all the difference in the world too. And then we have the protein that we need. Everything in this plan gives you exactly what you need. And for some people, it could trigger the keto flu. The keto flu is like just, being nauseous and sick and a little achy, and you feel like you've got the flu. And that's because you have you have a sugar addiction that you're probably trying to break, or you eat a lot of carbs on a normal basis, and you've suddenly gone from having maybe a highly processed diet or even a medium processed diet to you're doing bone broth and these healthy soups and simple proteins and salads and stuff, and your body's going, so where's the Texas cheese toast? I like that stuff. And your body, it might give you a little pushback. So, I have things to help you with that. And again, we have a Facebook group just set up for the sprint. It is 7 days. It goes from September 9th to September 16th, Monday to Monday. And it's going to take you through the weekend. So even if you, normally drink wine over the weekend and what have you, like I do, I promise you, I do that too. Not for this weekend. It's 7 days. I'm asking you for 7 days to help you get to this place of seeing how your body reacts, first of all, to an anti-inflammatory diet, and how to just clean things up. Because let's just face it, a lot of times we have to have big cleanup on aisle 5. It's sort of like somebody dropped the ketchup on aisle 5 and it needs cleaning up. And I'd rather see you in the place of doing a cleanup now than to be in a crisis later. Okay? That's what we do when we're getting healthy. That's my whole idea. Boy, all these comments. Okay, so I called Emily out on her cheese toast. I knew that, Emily. Okay, so I'm really glad that Karen's changed her diet because of psoriasis. There's a lot we can do. It's not. I'm not promising anything. I'm not promising miracles. I'm not promising weight loss. I'm gonna bet that that's gonna happen, and certainly in the 300 people who've tried this plan before, yes, I've tested this before, and on myself, that I've seen some really dramatic things. But your mileage may vary. It's some people drive sleek sports cars, and some people are driving great big old clunkers. Who knows? I don't know how it's going to work for you. It's like I said, we have to honor our own body's chemistry, and your job is to know thyself. So, strong recommendation: keep a journal with details. This is what I ate. This is how I felt. This is where I am. I'm feeling nauseous. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling kind of, I don't like this. I mean, even if you don't like it, persevere. 7 days is not a lot of time to ask for, right? Okay. If you give me 7 days, I'm going to give you everything I've got. I'm going to support you in any way that I can. And that is an honest promise. I will be in there in the Facebook group. We will be doing Facebook Lives. As a matter of fact, my Facebook Live, after I'm done with this, will be in the Hot Melt Sprint group every single day for the 7 days that we're doing it, so I can hold you up and help you out. You will not be doing this alone. I just want you to notice something. When we do things in community, how well does that help? When we do the home blessing hour when we do our home blessings with Marla on Monday, how much does that help? We get things done in community. We hold each other up. We are a sisterhood. So keep that in mind. This is why we're doing it. If you go to savingdinner.com/sprint, I believe the plan is there. And if you are, you need to be on our email list to be able to get all the goodies that go with it. It's not just enough to have the plan. You have to have the whole kit and caboodle, the whole enchilada, I was going to say, but let's not say that right now. Okay. Let's remember that Thursday is Q&A, so send them in, support@savingdinner.com. And I'm glad everybody is so excited about this. I'm so excited that you're excited. This is the way I've always done my plans like this, because it works. It is work. There are 9 research studies that support this, that show that people, when they are in community, even if they're, listen to this will blow you away. They showed, one study that I read showed an 8-week study where they had women who were doing this all by themselves, and they had women who were doing this in community. There was no difference in their activity level or their diet level. Guess who lost the most weight? The ones who were in community. Tell me about that. That shows to me, at least this is my, hypothesis, that community matters. Being in a support group matters. And maybe their mindset was better, whatever it was, being in community matters. So thank you for being in my community. I just want to say that right now. I have the utmost of gratitude. And I'm here to support and encourage and help you any way that I can. Oh, and by the way, somebody asked me, and it was, a matter of fact, it was our Brenda who just won this book. Can I get dinner answers for after, we don't get paid till September 1st. We're extending the sale until September 3rd, okay? So take advantage of that. So if you don't get paid until then and you want dinner answers for, 52 weeks a year for less than $1 a week, pretty much, isn't it? No, a couple of bucks a week. Less than $2 a week. I can't do the math. It's $77. You figure it out. If you want it, all you have to do is go to savingdinner.com. You can click on dinner answers. It's right there. And you can get it when you put in the code back to school for $77, $20 off, which is already a steal. And you get a bazillion bonuses, including the auxiliary, that's what we're calling it, the auxiliary body clutter book, which just kind of updates body clutter. And speaking of that, Marla and I are writing. We are currently writing. We've already done the hydration chapter. So I can't even tell you how excited I am. We have so many fun things coming up. So stay tuned. It's about to get fun. If you want to be a part of Saving Dinners, my new sprint, the Hot Melt Sprint, you know what to do, right? Go to savingdinner.com, get on the email list, and we're sending that email out. It's there. It's fun. Be a part of it. Yay! I will see you tomorrow, and I'll see you at tea time as well. Take care. Thanks for joining me today. Bye-bye.